Today I want to talk a little bit about breaking the rules while selling on eBay and show you a couple of items that I sold just this morning and I'm getting ready to get those shipped out. But before we get into it, my name's Brian. I'm a reseller. I sell on eBay in the everything category, which means I sell tools, toys, pots, pans, clothes, you name it. And I go to garage sales, estate sales, Facebook Marketplace, thrift stores, and find items to flip on eBay for a profit most of the time. So here's what happened. I was packing orders this morning. I had them all packed up, went to the post office. I was waiting for the post office to open. It was about 8:25. They open at 8:30. And I pull out my phone and I have 2 eBay notifications. So I had one buyer buy both of these French crystal items that I had listed for they're $70 a piece. And at that moment, I decided I was going to break the rules. My rules, not eBay's rules. I have a 1-day shipping policy on eBay, so I ship my orders the next day, which is what eBay was telling me to do and what the buyer was expecting for me to do. But I thought in my head, I was like, okay, it's 8:30 for me. The buyer's in California, it's 6:30 there. They might think that if they're buying something at 6:30 in the morning, that it'll ship the same day. They didn't ask for that. They didn't, no messaging, no nothing. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to give them the best buyer experience I can possibly give them. I'm going to get my other stuff dropped off at the post office here. I'm going to go back. I'm going to get these packed up and get them in the mail today. A side benefit is it doesn't, in case, I don't have any indication that they were, but somebody's looking around and maybe they're going to find something else they like instead. Because these haven't shipped, they're going to ask to cancel their order. And it's a big order. It's $140 for the 2 items plus shipping. So they're into it with tax for about $200. So, or a little under $200. So, I just want to get them in the mail as soon as possible. The buyer didn't ask for combined shipping, which I think is actually going to work out okay because I'm putting them in a bigger box than I would have normally because I'm shipping them together. I'm going to do a box inside of a box kind of deal, which I'm going to show you because I'm going to pack the order on camera so you can see how I ship $140 worth of items. Fun part is I picked these up at an estate sale about a month ago and I paid $1.75. So I paid $1.75 for the 2 items and I'm selling them for $140 plus shipping, which just blows my mind. The stuff you can sell on eBay. And it may be one of the most profitable flips I've ever had. So it's going to be real close. So let's get into how I'm going to pack these to get them to the West Coast perfectly safe and with a happy buyer. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap each one of them in a single layer of bubble wrap first. This is just for protection against the cardboard. And whenever I'm wrapping things inside the box, I do not use tape. I use stretch wrap. So you don't have to necessarily cut it off. If you can find the end, you can just peel it off. Not excessive with it. Easy enough to get off. Well protected. Am I the only crazy person that cuts their stretch wrap? I feel like I'm kind of obnoxious about it, but that's the way I do it. I hate tearing it. So this is what I'm doing. I'm just doing like a little cardboard sleeve. I have extra cardboard whenever I cut it off of pieces or get extra inside of a box. I usually keep it right up here and I use it to wrap things in so I can do a box inside of a box. All right, got that one done. And I did pre-cut these. So I'm not taking up just tons and tons of time. All right. Now I've got them both in their box inside of a box. And then as it happened, my dad came by this morning, and dropped off some new boxes, and this one was perfect for this order. It is a double wall box, so it's extra sturdy, and it's going to fit these two pieces perfectly. As soon as I saw it, I was like, that's the box I'm going to use to ship that order in. It was just perfect. And I was trying to figure out what I was going to ship them in because I didn't have one just like this, and he had one. So thanks, Pop. All right, I'm using packing paper inside. I do 2 sheets at a time, so I feel like it gives it the best structural integrity inside the box. I like using paper instead of, say, pillows or something more rigid like foam. Because whenever you put the paper will absorb. If there's a hit to the side of the box, it'll absorb that inertia. It doesn't pass straight through to the piece, where if you had something rigid like even a kind of a squishy but a foam around it, or the air pillows that whenever you put it in there, it's pretty tight. The force may pass right through that thing and into the object you have inside the box. So that's what it looks like on the bottom. I'm going to set the items inside, and then I'm going to make like a little kind of a nest or a cocoon around them. If you have a different way you pack orders, I'd be interested to hear about how you pack your orders. The vast majority of feedback I get on my orders is about the packing job, the way I pack them. So I feel like I'm doing it the right way, but there's not always just one right way to do things. Okay, now I've got the cocoon built there around the items, and now I'm going to pack in the top. Again, I'm going to go 2 pieces of paper, just like I did on the bottom. So the box is a little bit overstuffed, which is fine. I want it that way, so whenever I put the flaps over, it's got the right amount of pressure on it, and there's not a single sound of shaking in there. I was doing that on a video, and somebody commented that if it shakes, it breaks, which I think is awesome. It's not always necessarily true, but that's the way you got to think about it, because it has a much more likely chance it's going to break if it's shaking around inside the box. Okay, get it. I go all the way around the box. All right, and there we go. It is ready to go on its way to California. I'm sure it's going to take 3 or 4 days to get over there, but I anticipate the buyer getting everything fully intact and happy with their order. So I appreciate you sticking around with me this long. If you have any comments or questions, please leave those down below, and I'll make sure and get back to you right away. And until next time, have a great day.